So Hong Kong is known to be one of the most expensive countries in the world. According to a 2022 report, Hong Kong ranks 4th in the most expensive cities to live in. Today I'm going to be breaking down how much it is to live in Hong Kong as a tourist in a day. We started off the day with breakfast. We went to this Cha Chan Teng or Ping Sap. I think that's what you call the small little cafes in Hong Kong. I ordered this egg sandwich and then he ordered some luncheon meat or some satay noodles. Then we ordered 2 milk tea. So this sandwich is about $5.60 and then this noodles is about $6, right? So the total is 78 HKD, which is exactly 13 Singapore dollars. So really good deal. We got quite widespread. It also came with croissant and egg voice noodles, so it's really good. So after breakfast, we headed to the train museum at Tai Po area, which is the other end of Hong Kong. So MTR fare was a bit more expensive, but it was still quite affordable. We also bought the first class ticket. So our fare increased about like $1 because we accessed first class, but then it's more comfortable. I didn't expect Tai Po market to be this crowded. It's like very crowded. Maybe it's because it's a weekend and everyone's going to like a market. I'm pretty sure there's a wet market nearby. Maybe they're going to train museum, who knows. Train museum was fun, except didn't allow me to record. There's a lot of old steam engines here. This one, okay, the climb. Wow, look at this. I'm pretty sure all this were from when they were under the British. Oh, look at that. Look at that. There's like a picture. I think you can go in KCR. Basically, like, yeah, before the MTR even started. So I couldn't really film the train museum because they didn't allow recording, but we got some photos. We went to the traditional Hong Kong market afterwards. We bought some peaches. All of these are for $3. There are quite a few, and each one's like 30 cents. Very good deal again. And then after that, we headed back to the hotel, and then we headed out for lunch again. So right now we're going to be heading to Austin near the Jordan area for dim sum. We're eating at a place called Dim Sum. So I think the fare will be quite cheap because it's only one station. And I'll share with you the cost of the dim sum afterwards. Pricing was really good and food was not bad too. We ordered like a lot of things. Okay, so we ordered a bunch of things. We got siu mai over here, and then we got some custard buns in the shape of cake. And then we got cha sao, like a cha siu dish. And then we got some ha kao. Ordered some beef wings. On average, each dish is about $5-6. We should order a few baskets of siu mai and like 2 baskets of cha siu bao. Try this. The siu mai is quite good. Might be better than the ones I've had. So the grand total is about 68-69 Singapore dollars and about 48-49 US dollars. I would say it's pretty cheap for dim sum considering how much we ordered. We ordered like 2 baskets of 4 pieces of siu mai, 2 cha xiao baos, and then like the glutinous rice thing, the cha sao thing, custard buns. So overall, I would say it's pretty cheap. Each item, like I said, is on average about $5-6. And then after that, we went up to the peak. We took the minibus, which was pretty cheap also. We just used our Octopus card. You tap in, hassle-free, very easy. So that's a cheap way to go up to the peak if you're thinking of not taking the funicular. So we're currently on top of the peak right now. Wow, the view is quite nice. You can see all the buildings down there. Everything looks so small. It's much more cool. I wouldn't say much more cooling, but it's much more airy and windy. Feels good, man, to get some wind. But it's just that it was very crowded. It seemed like people haven't seen sunsets before. But I feel like the most stunning part about the whole experience was seeing the Hong Kong skyline at night. You see all the tall skyscrapers with brightly lit lights. That was, oh my god, that was kind of like a New York kind of experience. Oh my god, you can't see me, but we're at the top. Not the top is right there, but almost the top, and it's phenomenal looking down at Hong Kong Island, and then you can see Kowloon and this. So we're at this case device studio along Causeway Bay. Look at all the phone cases there. I've never seen a case device store in real life. This is a MagSafe thing. So we came to this Japanese restaurant for dinner. It's at Causeway Bay, across the Fashion Walk, along the Don Street. Ordered some chicken with scrambled egg and rice. It's kind of like a country one, but comes with tempura, some salad, miso soup. So I can this. sashimi. This teriyaki chicken set is so big. What's it?
Steam egg,
Oh, egg. Wow.
udon and rice, and miso soup.
So I'm back in Singapore and I'm gonna give you a summary of how much we spent in total on that day. So all prices I mentioned will be in SGD. That morning, my dad and I went for breakfast. The two of us ate a total of $13 worth of food, which is considered pretty good. There were quite a lot of food. So my sandwich plus my milk tea was $6.10. About the same as what I'll typically get at like hawker centers or my local chain cafes. For the transportation, I'm going to summarize the total cost because we took a lot of trips on the MTR that day. So the total was about $17.70. Pretty expensive because we went quite a distance for some of our trips. We went to Tai Po Market, which was like at the other end of Hong Kong. And then after that, we spent about $68 for lunch. We ordered a lot of things, so 68 is pretty good. I'm not gonna give you my individual spending for this one because dim sum, how can you really do that? You order a wide variety of stuff and then you share among yourselves. We ordered a few baskets of the typical dim sum dishes like char siu bao, siu mai, har gow. And then after I went to the Peak, I saw a really cool New Era hat. It was a New Era Bugs Bunny collab. It's very cheap considering New Era is like this more expensive brand. I like how I said earlier in the video I wanted to buy an MLB hat and I got a New Era hat, which is very similar to MLB. So that was $15. It was on sale. I think the typical price of New Era caps are usually around $50 or more. I think it was an old season and it was not a very popular design, but still a good cap. After that, we went for dinner at this Japanese restaurant. It was pretty expensive. For the four of us, it was about $133. It's like what you'll normally get at a Japanese restaurant or like any restaurant. So on average, each person ate about $33.25 worth of food, and that is including service charge of I think 10 cents. So the total amounted to $140. I think it's still reasonable, but the only thing that is a bit more expensive are meals at certain restaurants. If you are in Hong Kong, try going to their local cafes or those small little shops. Their local cafes are typically cheaper because they don't charge service charge. That's why when we went to the restaurant, on average one person is about $33, which is literally quite expensive. That's one tip: don't go to expensive restaurants because there are a lot of good food for really good prices, especially for breakfast. But I would say overall, it's not that expensive living in Hong Kong typically. It's just that if you live as a resident, it's a different case because rent is one of the most expensive things in Hong Kong. Living as a resident, totally different case. You gotta pay for rent, which probably increases your cost of living by a lot. But as a tourist, I would say it's quite reasonable. Food and all the transportation costs are